What we have for today is restricting and sorting data. Objective. When retrieving data from the database, you may need to do the following. Restrict the rows of data that are displayed. What we'll be doing before is selecting columns. We're changing columns. In one of my lectures, I told you about the capabilities of the select query, the select statement. I told you that one is projection, another one is selection, and the third one is joining, right? And I made an example of the projection where you can select as many columns as possible from a table. Instead of just saying select star, you can say select first name, comma, last name, comma, from employees. That is projection. But when it returns the value, it's going to return all the rows, right? But in a situation where I want to bring out a specific row, I don't want all the rows to come out. I want to bring out a specific row. That is selection. So that is another capability of the SQL statement, the select statement, selection. So to achieve selection, we will have to introduce another clause. So when retrieving data from database, you may need to do the following. Restrict the rows of data that are displayed. 2. Specify the order in which the rows are displayed. It can come in any way. But if you want to specifically say, I want to select and I want to come in ascending order or descending order, you can specify that. Now, this lesson explains the SQL statement that you use to perform this action listed above. That's what we are going to do in this lesson. Limiting rows with the where clause. Comparison condition using equals to, less than or equals to, between, in, like, and not conditions. Logical conditions using and, or, and not operators. So that is what we are going to be looking at. Now, to achieve the selection capability, you have to introduce another clause called the where clause. And then that is where what I told you about, this syntax concept. Syntax refers to the set of rules and principles that govern the structure of sentences in a language. Syntax defines the proper order of words and relationship between them, enabling us to convey meaning through language effectively. That is actually the work of syntax. Now, this is a syntax. Select star, distinct, column, expression, alias from table, where conditions. Are you with me? Okay, if you look at this syntax, it's saying you can say select star from a table. So when it says select star from, all the other ones are optional. Now it's saying you can say select star from a table. Or you can say select a particular column from a table. I'm just interpreting this for you. That's what it's saying. Or you can say select an expression from a table. All these I've used it before. And then alias. When you see this type of bracket, this square bracket, it means it is optional. So you can see that it put optional for distinct. Our last lecture, I told you about distinct, where you are preventing repetition of rows. Maybe in a particular row, in a particular column, you have 90 as a department name. You might have maybe 5 employees in the same department, say department 90. So when you say select star or select department ID from employee, it's going to repeat the same department for different employees. So if you have 5 employees in one department, it will repeat it. But if you now want to show only one of such department, you will use the distinct keyword. We did it in our last lecture. And then you know about alias. Alias is when you want another name for the column. That is just what it's telling you. And you put it under square bracket, still telling you that it's not a must that you have to give an alias for a column. So if you don't give an alias for a column, it will use that default expression. So this is the syntax. This is how you follow it. Now, in this syntax above, we restrict the query to rows that meet the condition. This is a where clause now going to be added. In the one we are going to do today, a where clause is going to be introduced. So this where clause has condition in front of it. So it means that anytime you query the table, there is a condition that the rows that are coming must meet. If the row meets the condition, it will pass. So when you say select star from table, where then you have a condition. So if the row is coming, if that row meets this condition, then the Oracle database management system will allow it to pass. If it doesn't meet this condition, it will not. So we will be seeing that now. Now, in this syntax, condition is composed of column names, expressions, and constants, and a comparison operator. A condition specifies a combination of one or more expression and a logical operators, and returns a value of true or false or unknown. The where clause can compare values in columns, literal, arithmetic expression, or functions. It consists of three elements. This where clause consists of three elements. So these conditions that you are looking at are made up of three elements. One, column name, comparison condition, column name or constant or list of values. Now, all these things that I've read here is what I'm going to be explaining to you. So this is the theory that I have read for you. I'm going to now practicalize this theory, and then you will now understand the meaning of this theory that we have just read. Assuming you want to display all employees in a particular department, now let me say select star from employees, right? You are very familiar with this. Now this is what we have. We say, let me drag this up so that you have more. Select star from employees, and it shows me all this. Now, assuming you want to display all employees in department 90, look at this department 90, 90, 90, right? How many employees are in 90? So far, I can see 1, 2, 3. Maybe there might be more than 90. There might be more than these three. They might still be inside. If you scroll down, you'll be seeing all of them. Now, I have to be scrolling down to see if there are other, if there is any other employee again that is in department 90. Can you see that? But I can just write a script to show me all the employees that are only in department 90. Now it's showing me all the departments. I don't want to see all. I want to see employees that are only in department 90. So to achieve that, we now have to introduce another clause called the where clause. So what will I do? I won't terminate here. I will remove, did you see that? I removed that semicolon that I used to terminate my query. So I'm going to add the where clause. I will say select star from employees. Where, see, I've introduced the where clause. Where department ID, which is this one. Where department ID equals 90. Then I'll terminate it now. Can you see where my termination is now? So I can write this query in a straight line like this, or I can break it to like this. I bring this here, I bring this here. Can you see that? I can write my query like this. It's finer to read it like this. When it becomes complex, it's better you write it like this. Select all the keywords, all the clause, you put them under each other. Are you seeing that? So select star, I did not terminate it. From employees, I did not terminate it. Where department ID equals 90, then I terminate. So this tells me that the whole of this is one sentence. Are you with me? So this is one sentence. So until you see a full stop in English language, you know that is a complete sentence. The sentence has not ended, right? So the same thing goes here. So this semicolon now tells you that the end of this sentence is here. So when I run this script now, watch. Can you see that? Can you see the output of this script? It means I have only 3 employees that are working in this department. And which department is this? We don't know, except we go to except we say, let me come down. If I say select star from department. If I do this, I didn't terminate it, that's why. So I'm terminating. Select star from department. Can you see? Now department 90 is what? Executive. Can you see the name of the department 90? Are you with me? So executive, that is the department 90. So if I run this again, it means that this press represent president, VP. So we have 1 president and 2 VP. These are the executive staff of the company. These 3. Are you with me? So if I run this one again now, there's another department 100, department ID 100. So I can now change this one to say I want to see all the employees that are in department 100. If I run this, you see how many? I have 6 of them. Department 100 is account. If I run this, let me see. What is department 100? 100 finance. Can you see that? So how many employees are in finance department? There are 6 of them. Can you see? By introducing the where clause, there is now a condition. So this is the condition that you are looking at. This is the condition that you are looking at. This statement, the where clause can compare values in columns, literal, arithmetic expression, or functions. It consists of 3 elements. What are the elements? Column name, comparison condition, and column name or constant or list of values. So look at the 3 elements. When you now look at this, can you see the 3 elements here? Look at the 3 elements are here. The first one is column name. This is it, department ID. Are you with me? Yeah. Now, this is the comparison operator, the equals to. Equals to is the comparison operator. Then you have a constant on this side. Can you see it? Can you see that? So what is it doing? This is the condition. What it's saying is that when you go to the employee tables, first, the Oracle database management will go to the employee tables, pull out all the data from the employee tables. It has its own place where it's going to keep those data. Now you will now start checking. Each row, I told you, the way you read this sentence, are you listening to me? The way you read this sentence, you don't read it as if you are reading English language. In English language, you will say select star from employees where department ID equals to 100. That is how you read it in English, but that is not how you read it in this language, in this SQL. When you want to read it in SQL, you read it you start from the source. You say from employees. Are you listening? That is how you read it. You read it, you say from employees where department ID equals to 100, select row. It will not go to employees. You will look at the first row. First row is what is your ID? ID is 108. But what is your department? Are you 100? If it is, yes. If it is 100, if department ID is 100, it will return it as an output for you, which is what it did here. It goes to the second one. Second row, 109. What is your department? Are you 100? Yes. We are return. We are pass. So every row that is coming is asking them, what is your ID? What is your department ID? 100. We are pass. But here, let's now use select star from employees without putting without putting that weird loss. Now it's bringing everybody. So the first one, you are 90, pass. You are 90, pass. You are 60, pass. You are 100, pass. Can you see? It's passing everybody. You are 30, pass. It's passing everybody. But here now is now there's a condition. If you are not in department 100, don't come. That is the meaning of that, of this statement. So the first person come, what is your department? I am 90. No, we don't need you. Go back. The third one comes. The second one comes. I am 90. Go back. Third one comes. I am 90. Go back. The fourth one comes. I am 60. No, go back. Then the ninth one comes. I am 100. Yes, pass. So it does that to 107 rows. Look at 107 employees quickly, and to give you an answer very fast. It filters them, brings me only 6 employees.